Hi, it's Debbie Williams from the Hypnosis Weight Loss Club, and it's week 1 and we want to start as we mean to go on. And this is one of the 5-minute challenges, which is to do your plan for the week so that you can see in advance what you're planning to eat, and you can make adjustments in advance to see, well, if I eat that way, will it take me nearer or further away from my goal? Now, this planning is a tool. It's not stuck in stone. It's not a rule. It can be flexible, but at least if you see in advance a whole plan, you can make adjustments and you can change things around to stay within that parameter of the week. And so just imagine, if you had the gift of going to Oprah Winfrey's detox chef's hotel for a month, and all you had to do was to pick from these delicious sounding menus, and you had a choice of 10 different dinners, 10 different breakfasts, 10 different desserts, 10 different evening meal. And because you were there for a month, you had a chance to try everything, and in between meals there were some delicious, beautiful snacks coming round that all healthy. And at the end of the month, you got on the scales and you realize you've lost a substantial amount of weight, and you weren't hungry because somebody else had taken care of it for you. They'd worked out the meal plans, and they'd worked out that you could do a bit of exercise, go for a swim, have a massage. And wouldn't that be wonderful? Well, unfortunately, we can't do that unless you've got loads and loads of money. But we can create something like this for ourselves, of doing a plan a week in advance by starting a list of the foods that you really, really love, and starting to distinguish the ones that you really, really love that are healthier and the ones that you really, really love that are not quite so healthy. Because the rule here is you can eat whatever you want, just not all at once. And just imagine if you were to take sort of all of the food that you really enjoy, but spread it over, a week and a half, and in between add some more nutrient dense yet calorie poor choices. And also practice, if you eat a lot, of putting slightly less out and allowing the 20-minute rule to work for you, which I'll talk about in a different video. Then over time, weight loss would be a side effect of making some different behavioural changes. So today, if I show you, it'll be in your workbook. Don't know whether you can see it there. And so pretty much we've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, breakfast, dinner, tea, snack, snack, snack. And if you think about it, most people eat the same sort of breakfast, porridge or toast. A lot of people have the same lunch, chicken sandwich or tuna sandwich at work, and then it's the evening meal or the weekends that the variants are in. And so if you start to fill in, right, okay, where's my list of foods that I really, really enjoy, that are good for me, and the ones that are not so good for me? And if you start to fill it in, you can see in advance, well, if I eat this way, will it take me nearer to where I want to be or further away? So it's the benefit of hindsight in advance. And someone just said to me, well, why not write down as I eat, and keep a diary that way? I'm not a great fan of this. It's okay to do for a week or two, but any more than that, you're still obsessed about food. You're still thinking about food all the time. Here, I want you to get it down, like the shopping list that you write, and you go into the supermarket, you've left the shopping list at home, but you come back with 95% of what was on that shopping list, because you've given your brain a focus. You've given it sort of the fact that you've written it down. It's like, that's what you want. So it has a direction, and it's working at the unconscious level as well. I was with Paul McKenna the other week, and we were talking about things, and he says, what gets measured gets done. And this is kind of measuring in advance, so you get the benefit of hindsight with foresight, so that you can see, well, if I eat this way, will I actually meet some of my health and weight loss goals, or do I need to make some adjustments and earn the right to have that particular food? And it's a tool, not a rule, so that, if you've got your Chinese planned in for the weekend, and instead of having a Chinese on a Saturday and an Indian on a Sunday, you think, well, I'm going to have a Chinese this Saturday, and then next week I'll have the Indian meal or something like that. Then if a friend phones up and wants to come up midweek and says, can we go out? We haven't seen you for absolutely ages. Can we go out to that Italian? Then of course you can. But then you can make adjustments of, well, perhaps I won't have that Chinese on the Friday or the Saturday because I'm having my big treat meal that's 10 out of 10. Whoa, I've got to have it earlier on in the week. So again, it's a way of measuring it to pull it down to earth so that you can see in advance where you're going. Okay, so I only want you to take 5 minutes to do this, and it'll be in your little workbook as you sign up to get your workbook and the CD and everything. So great talking to you today. Bye now.